The Drip Sports Show, powered by NJCP Football League. High school is over, but your grind is just starting. Welcome to the National Junior College Prep Football League, elite competition, maximum exposure. Secure your spot. Register at NJCP today.
Welcome to the Drip this week. I'm Shaun Hartman, by myself, not really. I'm with the man that created everything to get this whole thing going, Mr. Shawn Jones today. And today, I would like to ask Mr. Jones, what was his reasoning and what was his mind thought behind getting the NJCP started so that we all have this opportunity, Shawn?
I think the biggest thing for me was really, I've been working with kids pretty much all my life since I was a teenager. And of course, working with the inner city kids. And of course, when I had an opportunity to go play college ball, I was, blessed with the opportunity of umpiring baseball for little kids and always being around kids and trying to be a good influence for them. And also when I was in college, I'd go and volunteer with the youth, the corrections,
Oh, I love that part of that. Yes.
So it's always been a big thing for me as far as, being a part of the development of younger men.
One of the things that's unique about you, my bro, you spoke about you worked with the inner city kids because that's where you grew up. And we're not going to go to where, all right, Southern California, but then you had the opportunity to play college football in a very rural town in Utah. We'll go there. And then you had the opportunity to see kids in the small town perspective as well as the inner city kids.
Right.
So my thing with you is to have that type of diversity to see and work with those kids as well as the kids in the smaller communities, because I've had that opportunity as well since I've moved to Southern Utah. It's a little bit different in what we go about, but the thing is, you even took it a little bit further and you worked with the kids in the correctional facilities as well, because they need it probably more than any of the other kids do. They need direction. But I love that you have that background. And hey, don't forget, Mr. Jones also officiated Little League football with me. So we're both in that same boat with all of that. All right, now that we've gotten there with the kids and why you got involved, what is your goal with what we have going on with the NJCP?
Well, my goal has always been to help as many people as I can, help as many kids as I can. And over the last few years, I've been involved in helping over 60 kids get scholarships to universities all over the country. And so for me, that's what it's all about. It's all about giving kids opportunities to rise above what they ever thought they could do, and so I was fortunate enough to get involved in the junior college prep arena over 4 years ago. And it really it fulfilled something in me. But I knew that there was more that could be done. And from that point, I decided that I was going to go ahead and reach out, because now that we have the situation we have with the NCAA and their sanctions and things like that, we have even more kids now that are left out without being able to finish college. Some are kicked out of college. Then there's a lot of kids that can't get into college. Before it was tough with the NIL because we had over 10,000 kids that were left without, and now they changed the rules and it's created something even worse, meaning now it's harder to get in school. We're talking about squeezing the 1% down to less than 1% to 0.7%, because these kids that are in college now, they're not leaving to go to the portal anymore. They're staying in all 5 years if they can now, because if you go into the portal, who knows if you'll ever get out, right?
Well, speaking of the portal, my man, that's where we come in as the NJCP, and that's where I see our value to you athletes out there and to what we have going on. This is kind of what you developed this whole thing for, before we knew that this was going to happen, you already had a vision that we were going to help as many kids as we needed to, go into these smaller communities, help build programs in places possibly they don't even have them. But the thing is, with the landscape the way it is now, we actually fell into a different slot than we thought we were going to be just a month ago, okay? We fell into a slot, Mr. Jones, that I feel that we can offer these kids that are coming through the portal, because as you spoke about the portal, there are 43,000 athletes across all the sports in college right now that are going to have a hard time finding a spot because of the new 5 for 5. And we're just going to break this down to football. There were 10,000 in the portal. Okay, that wasn't even, and there were like 3,900 D1. So out of that 10,000, they're not all going to find a place to land.
Every great place starts with the right team, and so does every great business. Eterna Indonesia gives U.S. companies world-class offshore talent in operations, marketing, and tech. Trusted by top U.S. companies since 2021. Visit EternaIndonesia.com.
Mr. Jones, where does that put us into this new landscape, my man?
Well, it puts us in a position to where we can help a lot more people, obviously, which is, it's great, but not great, because at the end of the day, these are people that are kids that are victims of circumstance. Right. You know, they've done everything they were supposed to do. They went to school, they trained, they put in all the hard work. They were great pillars in the community, and now they get, you know, pushed away, right? Because now less kids are going to get in, and these colleges, especially the D1 colleges, are not looking as, you know, they're not looking for those high school kids as much as they were before.
You're exactly right.
And so we fulfill a need, you know, and this is not just a regional need, you know, need. This is a nationwide need. Yes. So this affects not just the poor communities, but it affects the privileged communities.
Yes, all the kids doesn't matter small or big. No. Everybody's affected.
Everybody's affected. And at the end of the day, I just wanted to make sure that kids from everywhere have an opportunity to show, you know, to live their dream, not just live their dream, but to graduate from college.
Speaking of graduation, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was the next thing I was going to address, is the education. All right. Look, the NJCP, yes, we are a football league, but our emphasis is on the classroom and these young men being successful after football, because like we spoke about before, bro, your time in football is very small compared to the time in your life that you're going to need to make a living and be able to take what you've learned in college to put it into a profession and into the everyday world. What do we have to offer in that part of?
Well, one of the things that we did, we implemented a platform in which we have mentors that come in, professional businessmen that come in and show these kids how to be a businessman, how to represent themselves in a way that companies and brands would want to attach themselves to them.
For the fact that the NIL is your own incorporation. So
right, yes. Right, absolutely. But more than that, right now, we don't, you know, most of our kids, a lot of kids aren't as social as they used to be. You know,
a lot of that going on, and their social is all social media.
Yes,
I get you.
A lot of, you know, and so we need to teach our kids how to be successful, right? If we don't teach them, nobody else will. You know, and so that's why we wanted to go community to community and help these kids learn how to give back to their communities, how to serve their communities and become pillars in their community in a way that they can make their families proud, the way they can make their cities proud, their counties. And hopefully one of our kids will be the next president of the United States.
What I like about that is we want our athletes that are in our league at the NJCP to be an influence within their communities, and also influence the younger generation coming up with the proper ideals and the proper mindset of being a pillar and being a contributing member of your community. So I love that, because right now in life, we're not seeing a lot of that. And the mentorship program, I love that, with not just the financial end of it, but we also have academic help as well for these athletes. And I want you to think about this, you people that are in the portal and whatnot, and you're worried about your status. Look, Academically, you come play with us. We will make sure we help you get academically eligible to play. Does that make sense? We're going to help you work that out. We're not going to put you on the shelf and say no, because we know if you're not on the field, you're not getting your reps, you're not getting recognized, you're not getting your work in. So, Mr. Jones, how does that work with us?
The one good thing that we've been able to do is we've been able to go out, reach out to those kids that didn't graduate from high school, help them get their high school, their GED or high school equivalent, give them, college classes, courses, and finally get them where they can be eligible to play university football, Division I football, and that's kind of been for us, the biggest success. I mean, those kids that we get that felt like they had no hope. They didn't feel like anybody was looking after them, or they don't have the resources, the family members to help pull them up. Well, we've been able to do that. We've been able to reach back and give those kids a hand up.
Yes. I love that, a hand up and not a hand out, because that's the thing. If you give a hand out, it's not the same because they get it for a minute. You give a hand up, you help somebody come up and stay up and be up. That's the whole thing about it, right? With the NJCP, we want to get these kids elevated to a level that they can go on and progress and be that contributor and that successful person in their communities for the rest of their life and pass that down to the future. Yeah. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a blessing in my life, and then the other people that have gotten involved. I mean, we just see the changes, and we see the communities getting behind us. It's been amazing. It really
nice.
Has.
Speaking about the communities getting behind it, we're out there right now, like we spoke about. We're in 18 different cities at the moment, and we want to get more. But this is the case. Like he has said before, there is a need for this type of program within your community throughout the country. Please get in touch with us. Look, if you have land out there and you want to donate a little bit of land, you donate the land, we will build on your property and help you put something within your community to help out the kids within miles, hundreds of miles of where we're putting these teams, okay? That's part of what's going on. And then being that the way we do the schooling, these kids have the opportunity to get jobs, go to school, and still play football for us all at the same time, which everybody can't offer that, and it's an online schooling system. But guess what? I wish I would have had that opportunity when I was going to college. Yeah, in a small little town that I was freezing. If I could have just gone online and then just gone to school during that type of and been able to make a living at the same time, that's a bonus. We offer that at the NJCP for everybody. And keep that in mind in your community. You may have an opportunity for these young people to come, and you can put them to work in your community as they're playing ball also. That's some way you can help contribute to the NJCP. It takes all of us. It takes a village, y'all, to do what we're trying to do. And we're starting with a small little group of villages. But by the time we're finished, we want to be coast to coast, Canada to Mexico. Why not? We don't care. We'll go anywhere. It's the NJCP.
While the rest of the world is sleeping, they're already putting in the work. But financial barriers shouldn't keep them on the sidelines. That's why we started the Impact Athletic Foundation. We sponsor underprivileged youth, providing the elite athletic training and vital academic support they need to succeed on the field and in the classroom. Find out how you can help sponsor you and your community. Visit impactathleticfoundation.com today.
So I just want you to know, this man right here, Mr. Jones, this isn't something that just fell in his lap and things have been. I've been around this man for the last 5 years as he's been going through this process, trying to get this to where it is. And I'm so proud to be a part of it that we've got all the ducks in a row right here. We've got the stepping stones in place to go further now in the future. It is the time for the NJCP to go bigger, better, and faster than we thought we were going to be, because there is a need. And it's all because of this man, Mr. Jones, and his vision years ago when we spoke about this and people told him it would never work. Guess what? Here we are. So, Mr. Jones, what do we have to do about anything else today?
Everything's great. Obviously, we're only as good as those that are behind us, and please reach out to figure out how you can get behind NJCP, and it's what we're trying to do. I mean, at the end of the day, we partnered up with Impact Athletic Foundation to help raise money for these kids to make it more affordable so that we can include more kids. At the end of the day, we have to make America great again. We do so much for other countries, I'm sorry, but not very often do we get a chance to really support our own country, our own children and their futures. But find out how you can get involved, and we love having people that volunteer, that contribute in any way they can, whether it be financially or just with their presence.
Donating your time is huge for us right now as well.
Absolutely.
As well. What I would like to say also is we are coming down to where the season is getting ready to start. I'm throwing out an appeal to all you athletes that are kind of stuck in that limbo spot right now. Please reach out to us. Give us a call. Give us a reach out on our website, because we have the opportunity to help you out with not only financial, but we have a chance to get you to play right now this year. Just so you all know. And financially, in terms of the cost of what we have to offer opposed to other associations, it's not even close. Okay. The value of what you're going to get with the NJCP for your money, the schooling, the opportunity, the exposure, us trying to get you out there in front of everybody else besides the NJCP. That's what's funny about our league is we don't want to keep you for 4 years. If you want to stay for 4, that's up to you. Our goal is to get you for 1, 2, and get you on your way, okay? Because we want to get you financially sound, we want to get you educationally sound, and we want to get you to the point that you are sound enough to be a player at the D1 level because you have the skills that you learned at the NJCP. So keep that in mind. The value for what we offer, nobody else can offer you that value. Just athletes. Come see us because Mr. Jones has put these things in place. It's a pleasure to be here with the man, the legend, and he is the reason that the NJCP is going to be the future of college athletics. I'm Shaun Hartman giving you the drip this week from the Dripping Weekly Sports Show, and we're through.
The Drip Sports Show, powered by NJCP Football League.